Hey everybody, I'm going to be making a Q&A video for hitting 500 subscribers. So if you have any comments or questions that you would like me to answer in that video, please leave them in the comments below. I am recovering from an illness, so if I sound different, that's why. And the neighbors are throwing a party, so they're screaming children. It's just the perfect combination of things today. But the weather was lovely, and I wanted to talk about my Mako. As some of you might be able to see, I have removed the screws at the ends of the handles. And I wanted to talk about why I did that. So, my preferences were originally very handle biased. That's what I started on. I loved handle bias. But I feel like as I've grown as a flipper, I've tended to lean towards a lot less of a handle bias and towards a more neutral experience. And that was one of the things that I just, I'd love to make a video on that actually, because it's not something that's unique to me. I see that with all flippers. As they get better, they slowly want something more neutral. But that was the problem with the Mako for me. I love the look of the Mako and I liked the way it flipped, but I always just thought, man, if there was a little bit less weight in the handles, this thing would flip so much better. And so I had the bright idea to remove some of the weight from the handles by removing the end screws, and it worked like a charm. If you like your Mako, but you think that the handles are a little too heavy, it's a little too strong of a handle bias, I would say give it a go. Remove the end screws. I can't guarantee you're going to like it better, but I did. Now, of course, because you're removing a bunch of weight from the very end of the pivots, there was a noticeable difference in how the balisong carries momentum, but it also wasn't really hindered by it, so I don't really care. It has less momentum now, but it still has more than enough momentum, so I don't really think it matters. At least that is my thought on that. Now, in my opinion, the perfect Mako would be one that has the end screws in, but has a really big speed channel on the side. I think that a speed channel would help reduce the weight of the handles, make it much more neutral, add grip that this balisong desperately needs, and it would still have great momentum because it would still have the end screws in. So if I was Squid and I wanted to make, like, they have the Mako, they have the Madco, but if I wanted to make like a Midco, that is what I would do. I would upgrade to a hardened blade steel so that the blade can't bend so easily. I would add a speed channel to the handles. I would keep those end pivots, and I would also consider changing the handle finish so it's not a bead blast. The bead blast on this balisong is very fascinating. Of course, this is the infamous bead blast that Camaro EE talks about hating. The only way I can describe it is it feels soft. This is my softest feeling balisong. It feels softer than G10. It's almost like felt-like in its texture, and especially when you first get it, it is so weird. It is such a weird feeling to be holding metal, but your brain is telling you that it's not metal because it feels like felt. Of course, you get used to it. At least I did. I guess some people might not be able to do that as easily as I was able to. I just really like the design of the balisong, and I like the way it flips, so I'm kind of able to overlook some of its flaws. The biggest issue that the bead blast has, in my opinion, is that it doesn't really add any grip whatsoever. And if anything, it's just making the balisong more slippery. so I don't really understand the point of it. You guys can see me dropping it all over the place. Like I said, this doesn't fit my preferences exactly, but I think that removing the end weights is definitely something that you should try if you have a Mako, just to see what you think of it. It will take a little bit of time to adjust to, but once you do, I like the way it flips. I think I'm going to leave it like this for a while. Yeah, maybe I could get something else to put in the holes. I don't know. Maybe one day I will pay and get it modded to have speed channels, but it's not a very expensive balisong, so I don't know if it would really be that worth it to pimp out my Mako, so to speak, especially when I have other balisongs that I love flipping. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Like I said, any questions for the Q&A, leave those in the comments down below. And there was something else I wanted to say, and now it's just completely escaped my mind. Hope you've all, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, guys. Q&A, leave a comment, like, subscribe, you know, normal stuff. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. Oh my lord. Hope you've all had a wonderful day, and until next time, keep flipping.